Hey guys, my name is Haley, and today I'm going to be filming a mid-year look at my reading goals that I made at the beginning of the year. So I wasn't on BookTube for the first couple months of the year, which is kind of sad because I wish I had a video to go look back at for these reading goals that I had made, but I did make a list in my phone of things that I would like to accomplish this year, so I'm going to go over some of those today. So the first one of my goals was to start and finish at least 5 new to me book series. I've actually done really well on this so far. I've finished 3 series, those being the Left Behind series, the Shatter Me trilogy, and Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. There are several others that I've started that either I just haven't finished yet, or the last book isn't out yet, but it's coming out this year, so I'm hoping to finish a couple more by the end of the year. Another goal that I had was to finish at least 4 series that I had previously started. I had a couple specific ones in mind because I knew there were books on my shelves that I had read like the first and the second book and never read the last one, or I had read the first book and never continued with the series and just never picked them back up. I have completed this. I finished the Life as We Knew It series by Susan Beth Pfeffer, Lion Boy by Zizu, oh, I forget her last name. The Lunar Chronicles, because I never finished the series with Winter when it came out last year. And Percy Jackson, because I had read the first book last year and never continued with the series because I didn't own the rest of them, but I got my hands on them and finished those. So I am completely caught up on that goal, although I think there are a couple more series that I want to finish and catch up on to see if I want to keep them on my shelves by the end of the year. Another goal I had was to read at least 12 Christian nonfiction books, like Christian lifestyle sort of books. And I've actually been doing really, really well on this. I've already read 8, which is a lot actually, although I do own a lot, so I guess that's really just good for how many that I own. But I've been doing pretty well on that one. I had read more graphic novels, or recently I added manga to that because I started reading the Death Note mangas. And so far I've read 6, so I think 3 graphic novels and 3 mangas, which I've never even read a manga before, so that's an accomplishment. And I did read a couple graphic novels like last summer, but I never really like dove into that particular form of storytelling because I'm a little bit picky with it. But I found a couple this year that I really like, and I want to get more into certain series and stuff in that genre, so we'll see how many more of those I get to this year. A goal that I had at the beginning of the year when I was feeling a little bit more optimistic was to read at least 10 nonfiction novels this year. I've read 2 and part of a third, and I'm currently reading a third one because I'm reading the Alexander Hamilton biography by Ron Chernow, which I'm actually really enjoying, so I'm actually really excited about it. So yeah, I'm about 100 or so pages in of the 800 some page book, but yeah, I'm not doing all that great on this challenge. I do have a stack of books about this tall on my TBR shelf that are nonfiction. I just never seem to pick them up. Like, I always go for fantasy books, so hopefully we'll improve on that one a little bit as the year goes on. There were at least 2 specific series that I wanted to reread this year. I have reread one of them, and that was the Pendragon series, which was one of my favorites as a kid. And I was so excited to read them again, and I had a blast rereading them. And it just solidified as one of my favorite series of all time. And then another one that I want to reread this year is The Chronicles of Narnia, which I read a really long time ago, probably when I was really young. And I don't think I really gathered what they were about other than Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because there was a movie made about it, and that was the only one of the movies that I really liked. For those of you who don't know, I didn't grow up a Christian, so I've only recently become a Christian in the last 3.5 years. So I'm more interested in going back and rereading that series from a Christian's perspective, because I know C.S. Lewis was a Christian and he was very active in the realm of Christianity and book writing and such. So I'm really interested in going back and seeing it from that particular perspective. This was a recent goal I didn't have on my list at the beginning of the year, but I added it within the last month or so. And that is to reread John Green's books and like rank them in a way of what's my favorite and least favorite. Because I read all of his books in a really short period of time and really fast, and I don't really remember a whole lot about any of them except for Fault in Our Stars, because there's a movie and it's a great movie. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go back and reread it at the very least, like Looking for Alaska and Abundance of Catherines, because I don't really remember anything about those. I do remember most of Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns, so we'll see if those happen. And then my last goal that I had on the beginning of the year was to read at least 2 or 3 classics. I haven't done any of that. I haven't read a single classic this year, and it's really sad. I have a stack of classics literally taller than my nonfiction stack, about this big, on top of my bookshelf, so I do need to get to some of those. And there are a couple that I'm interested in, and I just, once again, I never just go, ooh, I want to read a classic today and pluck it off the shelf. I always go for the fantasy, so hopefully we'll get to that and read at least one, if not the 2 or 3 that I was supposed to read. Yeah, those are some of the goals that I had set for this year, and that's a little bit of an update on how I'm doing on them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.